centuries-old traditions of opposing blasphemy laws. Because Unitarians and also Universalists were considered to be heretics by traditional Trinitarian Christians, they often found themselves being persecuted and prosecuted for alleged blasphemy or heresy. So they were often, imprisoned and sometimes even executed for violating blasphemy laws. So as a result, the Unitarians and Universalists have this, tradition of opposing blasphemy laws because they were often victimized by blasphemy laws. So it's just outrageous hypocrisy on the part of Reverend Dr. Peter Morales, Kathleen K. Montgomery, and indeed the Unitarian Universalist Association as an institution, and by extension Unitarian Universalism as a religion, to accuse me of blasphemous libel. Hey Chloe, how does it feel to be a knowing and willful participant in the cover-up and denial of such despicable crimes as pedophilia and rape committed by certain Unitarian Universalist ministers? Are you proud of that, Chloe? I would hope not. Maybe one day you can come and apologize for that. So that's Chloe Hart, member of the Unitarian Church of Montreal. I believe she's involved in the religious education section. And Chloe Hart is one of the Montreal Unitarians who has erased my chalk slogans that protest against the Unitarian Universalist Association's misuse of blasphemy law to cover up and deny pedophilia and rape. So if I put down a chalk slogan on the sidewalk protesting against the Unitarian Universalist Association's misuse of blasphemy law to hide pedophilia and rape committed by Unitarian Universalists, and Chloe Hart comes out of the church and erases that chalk slogan. Good morning, sir. Then she is participating in the cover-up and denial of the cover-up, and by extension she's participating in the cover-up and denial of such despicable crimes as pedophilia and rape committed by certain Unitarian Universalist ministers such as Reverend Mac Wallace Mitchell. But I should add that Reverend Mac Wallace Mitchell is by no means the only Unitarian Universalist minister who is guilty of, what the Maître Marc-André Coulombe described as such despicable crimes as pedophilia and rape. Although Richard Buell is not a Unitarian Universalist minister, to the best of my knowledge, and he was the only Unitarian Universalist that prior to June 1st of 2012 I had specifically described as a pedophile rapist, because that's exactly what he was. He was, there are Unitarian Universalist ministers who have been charged, tried, and convicted of the sexual abuse of children, and very young children. So there are Unitarian Universalist ministers who have been charged, tried, and convicted of pedophilia, sexual abuse of children. And I knew this, I just hadn't blogged about it for various reasons, one of which is because although the information is reliable, there's no question that a certain number of Unitarian Universalist ministers have in fact been charged, tried, and convicted of pedophilia, sexual abuse of very young children. Their identities have not been made public. The information, the very clear information that Unitarian Universalist ministers have been charged, tried, and convicted of pedophilia is publicly available. If you search hard enough on the internet, you can find it. But in all of these reports, the minister's name is not given. And the Unitarian Universalist churches are not directly provided. They can be gleaned, from the other information. You can get a pretty good idea. If you do a little bit of detective work, you can figure out, which church we're talking about, or churches we're talking about, because it's certainly more than one church. And then, of course, there's Sunday school teachers. And again, I knew of a quite severe case of sexual abuse of children, pedophilia, indeed rape, committed by a Unitarian Universalist Sunday school teacher before being accused of blasphemous libel in 2012. But again, I had not blogged about it. So there's actually a fair bit of clergy sexual misconduct of the worst kind that is being committed by Unitarian Universalist ministers that I haven't actually blogged about yet. I mean, since 2012, I've dropped a few hints here and there, but I haven't gone into any great detail yet about the cases I'm aware of. I'll get around to that. So that will be happening. I did speak to UUA moderator Jim Key about some of the cases that I hadn't actually blogged about in a conversation that I had with him in September of 2013, and also in some emails that I sent to him prior to that conversation and following it. This was as part of an effort to ensure that the newly elected moderator of the Unitarian Universalist Association, Jim Key, would do his job and ensure that the Unitarian Universalist Association formally withdrew its false blasphemous libel accusation against me, and ensured that President Morales faced some accountability for falsely accusing me of blasphemous libel. But unfortunately, Jim Key balked at doing his job, as did all the rest of the UUA Board of Trustees. Basically the UUA Board of Trustees, dare I use the term, across the board, failed miserably to, shit. Okay, so I haven't really got the picket signs. I'm not really supposed to be on church property, but I think I will briefly go on church property just to retrieve my picket signs, because I can't really rely on Montreal Unitarians to get them for me. So might be able to ask a member of the public to excuse me, could you do me a little favor and bring me my picket signs? Okay, so good, the wind is really grabbing the signs there, so I'm going to have to bag them. And thank you, sir, appreciate it. There's another one on the thank you very much, I do appreciate that. So there's another one on the entrance walkway in. So we're going to bag the signs that are freestanding and lie them flat. This young gentleman very kindly bringing my ticket signs back to me, and for that I am thankful. Saves me. Thanks a lot. Yeah, I'll come and get it. Yeah, thank you. Appreciate it. So we'll just get it, and we shall continue our protest. Yeah, we're almost out of tape here. I wasn't sure if tape's not the right word, but almost out of the half-hour range. But I'm glad that that was all recorded, and I'm glad that the young fellow did do what I asked, which was to bring me the picket signs. That saves me from potentially being accused of trespassing. I wouldn't put it past Montreal Unitarians to accuse me of trespassing for doing nothing more than stepping onto the property briefly to retrieve my picket signs. Which reminds me, you really should get around to having David Horan charged with assault. I was assaulted in early September by David Horan, and I've been debating whether I should have him charged with assault or not. And the more I think about it, the more I think maybe I should. But I mean, I'm usually not the kind of person to do that kind of thing when it's not a serious assault. But I think David Horan needs to learn a thing or two, and so does the Unitarian Church of Montreal. They've repeatedly brought all kinds of false criminal accusations against me. So, yeah, still a little bit of time there, so we got all this. So, maybe they need a little reciprocation and a little lesson that maybe you shouldn't be making all kinds of bullshit reports to the police in efforts to shut down my protest. When I can bring very legitimate criminal charges against your church members for things like theft of my picket signs and the occasional assault on me, the most recent one being David Horan. So yeah, we're almost done with the time here, so I'm going to let it run out, and then we're going to continue to protest with just a couple of picket signs, and we'll bag the rest. So